Welcome back, my battle brothers and sisters. Actually, it's more of a welcome back for me. It's been quite a while with holidays and a bunch of other stuff. But I wanted to get back into the swing of things. And today we're going to look at a game that just got released called Phantom Brigade. Kind of a tactical turn-based game. Reminds me a little bit of XCOM 2. But before we start on that, there's a whole bunch of games that have either been released recently. I was going to do one on Fights in Tight Spaces, which was just released, but then this one came out and I don't know, I was more interested in it. But Fights in Tight Spaces was kind of a fun little tactical card game, which I found at least it was worth the time and money. It was a fun little romp through. Xenonauts 2 is coming up, and a game called Tactical Breach Wizards, which I'm actually kind of interested in as well. Just look on Steam, look at what it is. It looks very interesting. Kind of a, think of, you could do, there's an XCOM, like law enforcement one that wasn't very good. I can't remember what it was called now. XCOM game where you're like police going in and raiding the enemy in little rooms. Well, think of that, but instead of XCOM agents, it's a bunch of wizards with weird special powers, breaching things. Kind of neat. And while this channel kind of started on Battle Brothers, a month or two ago, Overhyped Studios had a little chat on, what's it called, Discord, I believe, where they were talking about, answering questions from the fans, talking about their future projects. And there's a game they're working on called Menace, which they didn't give a lot away, but there's some blog posts. They had some images of, like, I don't know, artwork that may be related to it. It looked kind of like a modern mercenary type game. Like, they had different body styles with tactical kind of camouflage and ammunition packs, grenade pouches and things, just different uniform styles for mercenary looking groups. So that could be interesting. They said they enjoyed the game Jagged Alliance and were kind of inspired by it when making Battle Brothers. And this next game also is kind of along the same lines. What else did they say? It was interesting. It would be hopefully less frustrating for players in Battle Brothers, especially in the early game. They said when they were doing Battle Brothers, they got a little frustrated at times with, even for them, just kind of dev testing and things, how easy it was to die right off the bat. So a little easier maybe in the beginning of the game. Also, their goal is to have a proper tutorial, which I know a lot of people will appreciate. There will be male and female characters. There will be legs. It won't just be little busts flopping around, hopping around the battlefield. In fact, if you ever look at the old stuff for Battle Brothers, originally the images and sprites for your characters had legs and ended up being too difficult for a variety of reasons. They got rid of them. But this new game should have legs. We'll still have the perk system, kind of similar to Battle Brothers. We'll have a overland strategic kind of thing and tactical combat like Battle Brothers and kind of like Jagged Alliance, really. And a system to help prevent late game death spirals where, one bad thing at the end of the game just you can't recover if it's late game. What exactly that means, I don't know. But if you're a fan of Battle Brothers and you've been waiting for something, they've been working on a new project, and that's good news as far as I'm concerned. But today we are here to talk about Phantom Brigade. I've played a little bit. I went through the tutorial. What I will say is, if you get this game and you go through tutorial, the tutorial is just like the first region of this is a game where you're kind of like a ragtag rebellion force trying to free your country that's been occupied by a hostile invader. And actually, very much like, I think it's Jagged Alliance 2. Speaking of that game. The tutorial for this is a kind of linear set of missions freeing the first region of this captured zone. It doesn't really tell you that there are functions and things that are locked out. For example, think of XCOM 2, you can have multiple people you deploy. in the tutorial, it'll show 2 mechs you can deploy with. As far as I've gotten in the game, you can get up to 4. But when you're doing a tutorial, it doesn't show 2 empty slots that are locked, that will be unlocked. It just shows 2 mechs and nothing else. So you don't know. And in fact, on the mission, it might say, this mission can be completed by 2 to 3 mechs. It doesn't say how to get a 3rd mech, or if you can get a 3rd mech, or why you only have 2. A little frustrating. But we will, so this starts at the very beginning, a new campaign, which has the tutorial, or the quick start. You skip through that first tutorial part. I will do that. Adjusting difficulty. This, some people may like this, some people may not. This is not like easy, medium, hard, impossible. This is very customizable on how you want your adventure or experience to be. What I've found in my little bit of playing so far is that the default 100% mode is a little easy, but for our purposes we will go with that just so we can kind of see what it looks like. Alright, so we zoom out here. We have a very large country. I only captured 1 or 2 zones. Well, no, I think I captured 3 provinces when I stopped. I figured I'd restart. I've seen a couple chats talking about the capital district. I don't know if capturing that or if you have to capture every one of these. It looks like a long adventure to me. But we start down here. We have, much like XCOM 2 if you've played it, a kind of mobile base that drives around, and we launch our missions from there. We have 2 mechs right now at 100%. We have 4 pilots. We can have up to 8. And this liquid fix, this repairs our mechs after combat, and some of our mechs can take some of this into combat, and if they have special shields or whatever, they can actually repair while they're in combat. So this you need to replenish every once in a while, which you can do by coming back to this resupply point. And there are other resupply points as you come through. Up here, we've got a couple things: options menu, the world map, the base, which when you click on it just brings you to, I think, one of these 2. So I don't know why there's a separate button for the base. You can look at your pilots, you can look and equip your mechs. Inventory is, add-ons and equipment that you find or salvage. And then during the tutorial, if I recall correctly, these 2 might be missing. Workshop, like XCOM, you can build equipment, and then as you gather plans from the enemy, you can build more stuff. And then this is how to upgrade your base, your mobile base, and its capabilities. Again, very much like XCOM. You're not managing the ship itself and space in it, but you're very much managing what it has. And when you start, you can make body parts for your mechs, 1 type, the common standard type, and you can make a mech frame. The mech frame is kind of weird. It's just like the, I guess, bare bones skeletal structure of a mech, and then you hang the arms and legs and body on it. These I have not seen change. This is just a blank prototype. And in fact, I'll start building one of those right now. This is kind of a weird game too. If I just click, it doesn't do anything. You have to click and hold, or sometimes you can double click. We will start building a mech frame so that we can have 3 mechs once we get enough parts for it. We start with 4 pilots. It appears from what I've played, there are always these 4 when you start. From what I've seen so far, not much changes about them. If you hover over their name, nothing happens. If you hover over their stats, you'll see that they have maximum health, concussion resistance, and concussion point. As our mechs get hit, the pilot can take concussion damage and eventually can get knocked out. Or, if they take enough damage, they can get killed. So their stats, in that regard, might be slightly different from person to person. But what I've seen so far, they don't level up, they don't get any perks. It's just those base stats. You can come over here and you can edit them, what they look like, but it's all cosmetic mostly, and their name and call sign. Alright, so, oh, look at the mechs too. So, I'm going to keep comparing this to XCOM 2, unfortunately, because that's what this game has reminded me of quite a bit. It's kind of funny. Why? There we go. These actually kind of remind me of the alien mech units from XCOM 2. So you start with 2. You've got a weapon. It says secondary weapon, but really there's shields and things too. They can go to the other hand. And then your torso, legs, left arm, and right arm. And the gist of it seems to be that heavy armor is more protective, but it makes you heavier, so you're slower. And you dissipate heat more slowly because you've got more armor. Whereas lightly armored units obviously are more fragile, but they dissipate heat more quickly and they move more quickly. So here's actually, it looks like the green stuff is uncommon, and typically, as you can see over, well, let's add it here because I can't click and hold it. This uncommon equipment, as you see, has 4 attachments. 2 of them have this little padlock, so they're fused to this particular torso, and then 2 slots can be swapped out and changed. That would be this hybrid sensor, which adds to our maximum range and reduces our minimum range. So we're actually expanding our weapon range. And then scatter for idle and moving. It makes our weapon scatter a bit less for both, which is good. If we, let's add it back on. So if we hover over this other piece of medium armor, you can see the blue shows that we're getting a benefit and the red a negative of some sort. So our dissipation over here on the upper right, actually our heat dissipation goes down. Even though this is lighter armor, I'm guessing this must have a cooling system. Yep, improved cooling. So even though it's heavy armor, the cooling helps it. Legs, arms, blah blah. The arms are interchangeable. The most important stuff is the weapons. So this guy has a marksman rifle. There's also a sniper rifle. If you look, you can see they give you how much it scatters between being idle and moving, optimal range to fire, what kind of damage it does, and when it takes 1 second to do all 4, in this case of its shots, and it generates 110 heat. Whereas the sniper rifle here shoots quicker to 0.7 of a second, does less heat, does a lot more damage, it looks like, and that's why this weapon probably is rated a 3 and this one's only level 2. So actually this one looks like the better weapon. We will take that one. And let's take a look at our other guy here. The Protector has a shield. In fact, we could, let's give this guy a shield too. He has a handgun as an alternate weapon. We'll give him a shield. That makes him slow, but he can raise that between shooting to protect himself if he can't get away from enemy fire. This guy, okay. So he has the machine gun, which is level 2. Does a lot of shooting, kinetic damage, moderate range. Actually, previously I had used the assault rifle quite a bit. Doesn't do quite as much damage as you can see, but it fires much more quickly. It generates less heat. It's for a more mobile, medium range kind of playstyle. And then the shotgun obviously does tons of damage up close, but has a very short range. We'll go with this. Alright, that's good enough. We can get into combat here. So, we're going to go into this first hostile territory here. Drive along. While we are close to the base, a little thing pops up of different resupply options, or we can recruit pilots. Alright, hit the space bar. So right now these are unknown contacts. As they stay on our sensors for a while, we will be able to identify them. Okay, so to liberate a province, there's a group called the Home Guard, which is like the military of the country. Our little force is supposed to be assisting the Home Guard in liberating these different zones. If you don't click the Contest Province button, as you go through here and fight, your guys may level up. You may get items, level up. Your mechs level up because you get better gear. Your pilots, as I can see, don't. But you don't actually make any progress towards liberating this province. You have to click the button to contest the province. And once you hit Contest Province, there'll be a little stat bar up top. The Home Guard will be fighting these guys. The missions will pop up asking you for assistance. Every time you defeat the enemy in the province, the enemy's strength will go down. And every time there's a fight between the Home Guard and these enemies, if you don't intervene, eventually the Home Guard will lose, and they will lose strength as well. Whoever loses all their strength first loses the province. So we're going to... Actually, let's move in to get right up next to them. And then we'll contest the province. No reason to start the countdown bar now when there's already points here. So we have a reinforced camp, which it says in the lower right there is level 2 in TR, I'm guessing threat rating of 60. And if you look at my group, between my top, I think it will tell you based on your top 4 mechs. So far I've been able to unlock 6. But it says based on your top 4 mechs rating, so I'm assuming that's the most you can take into combat. I have 2.1 and 61, so it should be a pretty even fight. Whereas over here, it says level 2, threat rating 45, and it's a patrol and a broken down convoy. So maybe we can get some items out of that one. So let's do the easy fight first. Oh, well now it says 75. It got boosted all of a sudden. Everything got boosted. I still think we can take 75. That's not too bad. It's close to my 60 here. Now, as we get closer, they will start scanning us, and once they identify us as a threat, they may put out a distress signal, and you may start seeing other enemy patrols start responding. Like that. Alright, broken down convoy. I think we can take 2 guys. I will hit suit up. And my laptop will struggle to play. Okay, so you can see, add pilots and add units. Again, in the tutorial, that's just blank. There's nothing there at all, so you don't even know if you can take it. And it looks like there's space for more, but here's where it says 1 to 2 mechs. It gives a little overview of the battlefield. We'll start here. It looks like there's 4 enemy units. We get a little thing here. Enemy already knows we're here. If there's enemy reinforcements, it'll mention it here. Especially if there's like a times requirement or something. Medium threat, medium difficulty, regular generic enemies. And we've already equipped these guys, so it's good. If you want, you can re-equip them here. But I'm happy with what we've got. So we will start combat. So the gimmick of this game is, there's a little overview if you want, and it kind of has a little talking thing. We can retreat and get picked up by our base in this particular mission. Sometimes that's not an option. Alright, so let's see. Objective A. So, because it's a broken down convoy, if we rotate, here we go. So it looks like this thing with the red circle is the broken down vehicle. If we wanted, theoretically, we could move into this circle. And I think if we stay there for 2 turns, we can capture it, and then we could run away and retrieve the items. Or we can just blow up all the enemies. The gimmick for this game is, as you can see these little red shapes, this is a timeline for the next turn. And we see what the enemy units are going to do over the timeline. Some of it will change, like this tank here is going to move forward, and then it's going to shoot at this person. Wherever this unit moves, that tank is going to attempt to shoot at it. So we can have the unit hide behind cover, and if the enemy doesn't have line of sight, he'll still try to shoot at my hiding unit. So that is the gimmick or the game, trying to use this future prediction to move our outnumbered forces correctly so we can destroy the enemy and keep our units safe. We have an enemy with a cannon and a missile launching system. You can see his little timeline here. He's going to run forward and he's going to shoot, and that arc, that is a missile, probably a guided missile of some sort, or maybe a cluster of several missiles. They're going to arc up slowly and then try to target that guy. This tank has a cannon. He's going to drive forward, stop. You are less accurate when you're moving, so he's going to stop and then shoot more accurately. And as it is right now, from a 0 to 100, 100 being like ideal range, he's going to be in the 60-ish range, so he's going to have a pretty effective fire at my mech here. And then the final enemy mech has a shotgun, which again we had talked about has very high damage but very short range. He's going to move forward, and then it says 22 because he's kind of far away and there's cover in the way, so it's not a very accurate shot. And it said blocked. That's why the line here is dotted. He doesn't actually have line of sight. So when it comes to his turn to shoot, he actually will not be able to hit me. Now, some terrain and buildings and things are destructible, so you can hide behind them and they may shoot and they may actually pierce through. So what are we going to do? This person here has a sniper rifle, so wants to be at range and doesn't get shot at until here. So we should probably see if we can have her take a shot at somebody first. That's 52. That's because it's a sniper rifle. It's a little close for her range, actually. And there it says optimal range 91. So we'll take a shot at him. And then I think our best bet, we can wait and face a direction. We don't want to do that. We can run. We can dash, which is using little jetpacks to fly away quickly. But that generates heat, and if you overheat, you'll start taking damage. This is our little heat gauge over here, and you'll see as we fire, our heat spikes up, of course, and then over time it starts going back down. I think we can dash over here. That should get us out of line of sight. It does. You can see the lines on her are dotted, but it's hashed here because she's going to overheat because it's too much after firing. So instead, let's see if we just run. If we run, we still get out of line of sight, but we don't want to run at the beginning here when we're shooting, or it'll be less accurate. So you have to say wait first. We'll wait for that first bit. Then we'll run. And actually, we can probably run up to this high ground. And then we can probably shoot again. Maybe not quite as far. Let's see if we can shoot from here. We're not quite high up, so we may not have line of sight. Oh, we can see this mech over here that fired at our boy. So that's okay. We'll shoot, we'll move, we'll shoot again. It's not super ideal. There's a gap here in the middle where we're not firing, but we're not getting hit, which is nice, right? Now, if you look right now as we start moving, eventually we get where our other unit is, and there's a little yellow bubble that appears. That's showing that right now the plan is going to result in a collision. And when there's a collision, one of the lighter mech, I believe, gets knocked down, which we don't want. So we need to move. Our other mech. We can click on here too. but we've got it here. All right, so what's this mech going to do? He's got the assault rifle. He's being shot at by this dude just once with missiles. His weapon is moderate ranged. If we move up and then fire, he's a little far away. He's optimal range for that guy, but it's blocked because of the hills. So what if he jumps up to here? Dashing is very useful for dodging those missiles, but it's kind of hard to predict. Missiles fly so slowly. If you look, he goes up 21 heat, which isn't too bad. He should be able to fire his assault rifle because it doesn't generate that much heat. Optimal range on the tank, optimal range on this mech. The mech has a shotgun, which is very scary. So let's see if we can put him down. After that shot, we're up to 63 heat. That's a little too much for another shot. So we're going to wait a bit, probably until about 35. And then we'll shoot again. 85 on that mech. Let's hit him again. And we might be able to fit in a third shot. Let's see. If I shoot at 44, doesn't look like I'm overheating, but it's close. Now, my only concern is that guy has moved forward and fired missiles at us, and I don't want to get hit with them. What if we put our shield up while we're here? We will try that and see if that's the correct timing to absorb the hit from those missiles. Alright. Shoot, move, shoot. This person's going to move up, shoot, shoot, and then shield. Let's give it a shot. We hit the execute button, and then it will play out. We hit that guy. There come the missiles. He's got his shield up. Looks like the shield just about caught them all. If we click on him, we can see his shield there has some damage to it, but not a lot. Those must not have been very powerful missiles. It looked like most of them hit. And this person is just finishing up her shot. This tank got wrecked. This mech took some pretty serious damage, but it is still operational. This over here shows the pilot health. 29, so I think that's unconsciousness, or 39 it says, yeah. So it's taken a little bit of damage. 39 is the max. There's 29 left. If you click and look at their weapons, let's do this. So over here, kinetic is the amount of damage that's done to the vehicle, the target. Concussion is the damage done to the pilot. And then impact is for like blowing up buildings or cover. And as I understand, if you shoot someone from behind, you do double the concussion damage. You can knock pilots out, which means when you salvage their mechs afterwards, you get more intact parts, which is good. Alright, so let's take a look. Moving forward. So it looks like the tank and the shotgun mech move around quite a bit and then shoot towards the end of the phase. And this other mech, the pilot was killed, so this other mech is moving along and then crashes. So we don't have to worry about him. We just have to worry about these two. Does she have line of sight? She's pretty hot right now, and the sniper rifles generate a lot of heat, so we need to wait till she cools down a bit. 50, or she can't see the other one. Oh, I think that tank is over here, and this guy is there. So we'll take a shot at him. Still, even at 20, she will overheat a tiny bit. So let's try this again. We'll wait till she's below 20. Takes the shot, and that's all she can do this turn. for this guy, he's got a bit of time because I don't know why this mech is dancing around, but he is. I think we will take a shot at the mech. I could take another shot at the mech, probably. He's a little close, but we can actually hit. Yeah, let's hit this guy. We are at 95 heat. He's got a little bit left, but not too much. Alright, so we have to get out of his firing by this point. So we need to say we're going to wait, face that direction. Then after we're done shooting, we fall back. And let's take a look and see if that will actually get us out of range in time. So you'll get hit there. Mechs are, he's on the high ground actually, so that's not going to help. So instead, we can put our shield up. So at least while we're running, we'll face him and have the shield up to hopefully defend. And then, it looks like he's shooting that whole time. Okay. Well, we'll have to deal with it. We've at least, I think, gotten out of the firing arc of the tank, so we've avoided some damage. And this guy will be cooled down so he can return fire. And I can hit that guy, even though he can't hit me because I'm taller and I can see over the terrain, while the low tank can't. This is not perfect, but I think we'll be okay because we'll absorb most of the shotgun's damage. Is he doing 2 shots? Just one. One long shotgun shot. Okay, well, whatever. We shoot, we hit him some more. Sniper rifle hit him. Ah, did he shoot? I don't think he shot. His arm with the shotgun got blown off, which is why he didn't shoot at us. And if you look at him now, his plan is to run and then eject the pilot, which means the mech is intact and we don't need to shoot it anymore, and that will give us a lot of salvageable intact loot, except for that weapon that's probably destroyed, right? This enemy tank is going to shoot and then just sit there. So this guy can wait until the shooting is done, hop up to the high ground here, and then gun that guy down. Probably can shoot him again at that point. And this person, who's not being shot at all, even though she's not at the ideal range, can take a couple shots as well with her very hot and slow firing weapon. And that should be sufficient. Waits. Tank. Oh, tank's already got blown up by the sniper rifle, I think. So we're... Oh my god. Oh my god, so much pain. Easy fight to start with, but you know, they get more difficult as time goes on. So, what do we got here? We've weakened the enemy. The enemy is alarmed, so they're going to start raising their threat and getting more stuff in this area, as I understand. We have, if you've played Mech Warrior, Mech Commander, Battletech, there's a salvage system. So this stuff was packaged, was in that vehicle that we captured. So we get resources and these level 2 heavy parts for free. And then there is this intact vehicle that the guy bailed out of, the destroyed mech, and that's it. Sometimes we must have blown the other tank or whatever a little too much because there's nothing left to salvage from it. let's take a look. So if you click on something like, this is a heavy torso here. Level 2, heavy torso. It's intact. That means it's not damaged. So if I want to recover it and have the actual item in my inventory, it costs fewer salvage points. The other thing I can do is I can dismantle it and turn it into resources. There's supplies, which is what this will give me. An uncommon item, I believe, will give me supplies, 53. And then because it's uncommon, I will get 7 uncommon resources. And then if there's a blue one, blue ones are rare, and they will give me supplies, maybe some uncommon, but definitely some blue rare resources. And you can use those for upgrades and building things of your own. If something is damaged, like this missile cluster launcher is damaged, it takes 25 to salvage, to recover, and 10 to dismantle into parts. It's more difficult to recover. But I still, when I recover it or break it down to parts, I get the same amount. I still get the item. It just takes more salvage points, so it determines what I want to get. Typically, we'll take this arm. We will take this arm. I haven't had a lot of luck with cannons so far. Missile launchers are annoying. I haven't really... We're going to just get a bunch of parts, I think. Actually, hold on. We should be salvaging these first because they take... They're not damaged. Or some of them aren't damaged. That one's intact. It only takes 5. That one's damaged. Damaged. Intact. Let's salvage that one. Anything else? This was destroyed, so everything is going to be damaged on him. Salvage that. Let's salvage that. Okay. We're going to have 5 left over, but what are you going to do? I guess we could just claim it. Maybe you can claim this. There. That's 10. Okay. We got heavy armor sets. It says dissipates less heat, slows you down, but it takes damage better. A little tiny bit of damage, 98%, 94. And this other mech frame is almost complete, so we should have 3 mechs fully operational when we take these guys on next. Oh, let's see. We can also pause it. There's a fight. This is a battle going on between the home guard and the enemy here. Level 2, 150 threat rating. Probably want to skip that one for now. And we can take this reinforced camp out instead. And this looks like a patrol that's been sent to find us. Actually, let's... This is our next unit, the Colossus. This is the skeleton of it. Let's see what we have here. Not much in the realm of torsos. Medium torso or heavy. Again, this heavy one. Okay. So the heavy one, if you look, it has much higher heat dissipation. Why is that? Again, typically the heavy torso, if you look, says heat dissipation. Well, it gives the bonus there. It has the R1 standard reactor, which has 15 heat dissipation. If you look at this guy, this one only has a 9 heat dissipation. Increased power output, so it makes your mech faster, but it doesn't dissipate heat as quickly. Typically, it kind of depends on what role you want. Let's go with this. We'll go with the faster one. Typically, I like the higher heat dissipation, and I just shoot a whole bunch. But if you want someone who's a little quicker, who can pop out, shoot, and then pop behind cover before they get shot back at, which mobility is important in this game. Adjustable. Well, this one has a perk, and this one does not have a perk. Let's see what this perk is. Alright, so he has adjustable. Okay, it just increases maximum range, decreases minimum range. That's never a bad thing. Medium arm. Mass 16.5, mass 17. These both have heat dissipation. They all have heat dissipation, but this one has much less, 2.7. Whereas this one has higher heat dissipation, and it's lighter. We'll take the light one. And then 228. Integrity is how tough it is. So for this arm, this one, that one has 116 integrity, but it also has 89 barrier. Barrier is like a shield that gets regenerated, I believe, by a supply of that liquid fix that the mech will take into combat. So it slowly regenerates it after not being hit for a little while. This is lighter and dissipates heat better. 15.6, 15.6, 16.5. So this one's heavier. These have the perk. It says on the right there, a composite. That means it's made of a lighter material. So it's just as protective, but it's a little bit lighter weight. So we'll take that one, I guess. This one's 112. It's got a barrier. So the right arm, which has his weapon, we don't want that to get blown off, so we'll put the heavier arm there. Weapons. Well, let's go with, this guy's fast. Let's go with the shotgun. And he doesn't have a dash, unfortunately, so that means he might need a shield. That slows him down, but at least now he has a shield, so when he gets shot at, he can't dodge. Doesn't have a jetpack, so instead he'll have to use a shield. Fair enough. Now I've got 3 fully kitted out mechs. Now our rating is 91, which matches nicely with this 90 here. So we're going to try to knock this base out. They've detected us. These guys are still not responding directly to us. There's 3 locations now. A base, the patrol, this base, and then the fight. So actually 4 objectives we can respond to. You can see taking out that one took 20% off. When these guys lose, and they will, because I'm not going to be able to get over there in time, it's going to be more than 20. It's going to take like 35% or 33%. So you can't afford to let too many of these fights go. Looking through, they're sitting ducks. The enemy mechs are ahead, just hanging out. Well, sounds good to me. We bring in the Colossus. These 2 are already in. This person's at 100 health, 25 and 75, 105, 25 and 80. So this person's a little tougher. So let's put that person in. The enemy's here. They're ready to immediately engage, so be careful. And reinforcements are on the perimeter and may deploy during battle. So there could be extra units that pop in, but it should be an easy fight. The L2, I believe, shows like the average level of their equipment, which is kind of based off of the sum of all the equipment put on it. So most of my units have level 2 stuff, although I think 1 or 2 may have a level 3 item, which is why we're at 2.1. So equipment level wise, we're pretty much the same. I'm not sure exactly how threat is determined, probably the number of units, but we're pretty evenly matched. And when it's evenly matched, it should be pretty easy. All right. And again, if you want, you can sit here. It'll spin around the battlefield, and you can see what everything looks like. I don't care. And again, the base is behind us, so we can retreat. And backup is on the way. Victory becomes available if all hostiles are defeated. Reinforcements are coming in 6 turns. 6 turns is quite a while. We can get a lot done in 6 turns. We can also elevate, rotate, and zoom in and out. Let's take a look what we have here. We have 2 enemy mechs, 2 tanks, and then turrets. Now, sometimes the turrets have a... Okay, sometimes over here it'll say there's a tower or controller for the turrets. If you blow it up, you'll disable the turrets. Kind of looks like that, but it's not labeled as such, so I don't know if that's actually a control tower or not. Also, sometimes when there's reinforcements coming, there'll be a secondary objective that says if you blow up X building, you'll stop the reinforcements. Again, it's not labeled this time, so that may not be the case. I have not had much problem with turrets firing at me in the past. In fact, I don't ever recall turrets firing at me. I don't know if they automatically do, and it just doesn't show up on the timeline, but none of these turrets are showing up on the timeline. I don't have to go out here into the middle of the city. These enemies are going to come to me, so as long as I kill them out here, the turrets shouldn't be an issue. I probably should have taken that missile launcher because it's very long range and I can shoot it from safety. But alright, let's see what we got here. So the enemies are going to come forward. 2 are going to shoot at Shotgun Man, and 1 is going to shoot at Sniper Rifle Lady. They're all through terrain and blocked. This guy has a machine gun. So the machine gun does not have great range. You can see it says 3 out of 100, 3%. So it's not a great shot, although it shoots a lot of bullets. So a handful, I'm sure, would sprinkle and hit her. I'm going to assume she's in a similar boat and can't really see the enemy. So now the question is, do I somehow find a line of sight for her? If she comes over here, she may be able to shoot down this lane and avoid that. No, I'm not thinking so. So let's rotate back up. No. Let's jump over this way and see if we can get some shots off at these guys. Blocked. Blocked. Alright, we can take a shot at that guy. It's not the best shot, but it is a shot. This guy, the tank, is going to try to move forward and shoot at him. So what's this guy going to do? He needs to get close. He doesn't have jump jets, so I guess we're going to run. We'll run to here. That tank is going to shoot at him and hit the building. That tank has what? A cannon. It's going to hit the building. It might blow the building up, but this guy should be safe behind it. Then the other tank is going to shoot at him. So let's put our shield up when that other tank starts shooting. And let's start moving up towards him. Alright. And then after he is shot and he is nice and hot, our mech will be close, can fire the shotgun and finish him off. Which is kind of a waste because this guy's shooting at him, but and then our third mech, what are you gonna do? You can move up. You're still out of line of sight. And from here, can you see that guy? You cannot. I feel it and progress a little bit. No. Where is it being blocked? It's being blocked here. That's the high ground that's in the way. If we take it off the timeline and we rotate the angle, it's not a perfect bird's eye view, but you can kind of see. Okay. Right there towards the end, it's kind of high up though. It's moved up quite a bit. Let's see if we can shoot at it at the very end here. Like right about here. We cannot. What if we continue to move? How about over to here? Still looks like we're out of line of sight of that machine gunning mech. Still blocked there. Still blocked. And I'm going to guess we can't see anybody else. Can't see that guy. I was hoping. How about up there on the high ground? I have the high ground, Anakin! Okay, it's 42%. It's not a great shot, but it is a shot. So, can I see anybody else? No. You can see optimal range for this sniper rifle is very far away. Alright. Let's see what happens here. Probably not a lot this first turn, but we're getting in position. Tank's going to shoot over here and hit that. Both of these guys did hit this tank. It is not knocked out, but it is not happy. That tank is going to wait, continue firing, drive away, and shoot at the other mech. This guy is going to shoot his shotgun. Look at that, 13. So he's super far away and moving. So it's not a very good shot at my mech. This tank, however, optimal range. So that tank could actually put a decent amount of damage on my mech. So we need to move forward with him. A little bit of damage on his shield from this guy shooting at him. Move forward, shoot that guy with the shotgun, hopefully take him out. And this guy, let's see if he can maybe do some damage to them. Get up to the high ground there. If he's up here, he can see one shot on the enemy tank, 2 shots on the enemy tank. That's the other tank. Let's focus on taking that one out. Alright, 3 shots in that tank should be more than enough to take it out. It's probably overkill, but I'm not worried about the shotgun guy yet. He's very far away. And I'm not worried about this tank, because hopefully my shotgun guy should be able to hit him. What if we shoot him from here? Optimal range with a shotgun. Sounds very painful. That heats him up quite a bit. Let's put our shield up after that. And we have to aim it at somebody. We're going to aim it at him. So we shoot that guy at close range. He's already injured, I believe, a little bit. Yep, so 1 shot should be sufficient. We will wait until we've completed shooting, so we're accurate, and then we'll start moving forward towards the other shotgun mech. Alright, what does that leave? That leaves our sniper lady. She needs to wait until she cools sufficiently. Does she have any targets? She does. She can hit the shotgun guy. That's actually very nice. Only gets 1 shot, but that may be enough to weaken him a bit and then the shotgun can take him out. All that's left is this dude. And what is he shooting at? 6%. 6% effective because it's super far away for a machine gun. I'm okay with taking that little bit of damage that I'm sure he'll take. So let's go from here. This guy can move forward. He shot that guy with a shotgun. Did not kill him, but that tank looks damaged. That tank. Okay, so we haven't killed either one of them. This tank is very damaged. This tank is crashing, so it's going to smash. It either is going to or has smashed into something. It's not going to do anything next turn because it's crashing and out of control. The enemy mech with the shotgun is waiting for a bit, and then eventually he's going to shoot at my shotgun mech. This guy, still not super effective because the machine gun's still very far, and it's a medium kind of range weapon. And it's not moving. It has moved up and stopped. My guy has a little bit of damage, but not too bad. He is also cooled down, so we should get a clean shot at the enemy mech. It's a little far, but that's okay. We can put our shield up facing him. So we need to move that a little bit to about here. It's a bit annoying, but okay. Alright, so there we can shoot again with our shotgun. Alright, 2 shots there. And how about our sniper? We can put a shot into there. Between 2 shotguns and a sniper, that may be enough to take that dude out. It's kind of shooting close to that guy. There is friendly fire. We might look and see. Yeah, it's pretty close. I mean, if it was a lot elevated, then maybe it'd be safe, but we probably should not take that shot. That's blocked. That's not blocked anymore. And it's not quite as risky. We need to finish that dude off, so let's put a shot into him. Anybody shooting at you? Yes, that tank. It looks like this tank is finishing up a fire action. Yep. So you're going to get hit regardless. No reason to put your shield up. Let's just start returning fire. Optimal range, that's good. And you're not going to get shot at a second time, so we'll let it go down. We'll shoot him again. And we'll call that good. Let's see what it does. Shotgun into that guy. I think he might have blown his arm off. It looks like it's gone. Yes, his arm is gone. That pilot is ejecting. That tank is destroyed. That tank, the pilot is concussed. We've got 1 left. They actually lit this guy up pretty good. He's got quite a bit of damage on his right arm because that's the side he's being shot at from. And that guy is going to shoot at him again. Nice, 69 damage. So we got to move him out of the way or put his shield up or something because he's going to get collided with by this guy as he moves forward. So let's move. I mean, we can move up and put our shield up. That's kind of helpful, but it's not perfect. Because that means you're just going to get hit with a lot of stuff. Now moving will make it a little harder for us to get hit, but what about this range? We're probably still a little far. But we can do some damage from there. What about you? Do you have line of sight? You do have line of sight, and he's standing still. So, only one shot. We can risk getting burned a little bit, I suppose. I'm going to put some damage on that guy before he really starts hurting us. This guy can jump and then run. And then run some more. Let's make sure he's not going to collide with anybody. Nope. See, the little golden bubble thing doesn't appear. Let's run a little bit more. So you don't want to get in the line and accidentally shoot him. And then, once we get still, we can shoot at that guy. Optimal range. Okay, so actually we've got quite a bit. It's going to take a... He's going to get the hell shot out of him with the machine gun. Hopefully the shield takes most of it. And then all three of us are going to unload on that guy. And that might be enough to take him out. It's a plan, at least. The sniper rifle missed. The shield ate it up. And... okay, that guy looks like he's hurt. He is not dead. He's just going to shield, though. So he is... I mean, he's less than half health on his core. His shield's undamaged, though, so we got to finish him off quick before he gets that up. You can fire again at optimal range before he gets the shield up. You are going to have to wait. Put that out here. You could actually instead move up to get a little bit closer, which is ideal. Let's go to there. Hit him at close range. Nope, still a little hot. What about 19? I wish it would kind of predict and show, because right now, let's say, all right, I want to fire. It should be able to show me if I'm going to be overheating. If I click now, if I'm going to overheat, it should be able to show me that, but it doesn't. So you have to do a lot of trial and error, which is a little annoying. All right, 19. I'm not going to be able to shoot a second time with him. What about you? You just fired. And you've kind of burned a little bit, but that's okay. That looks a little close. But you know what? We like to gamble. It says optimal range. Look at that. We're not going to hit our guy in the back. No way. No way. Oh, that's not good. So this is a little annoying too. I wish I could say to start moving at this point, but instead we have to wait until we finish firing. Then we move. That is a tower, and it's going to attack scan. These guys are both probably visible to it, so let's instead run up this way. You'll be out of line of sight by this building, hopefully. And then you can fire at it from here. Let's actually... let's shoot this tower. I don't normally care about the towers, but we're here, we're next to it, that guy's going to have a shield up anyway. It's probably not going to be good to have it hit us. What are you doing? You're shooting at him once. Alright, let's see what this does. That hurt him. That finished him off. That tower looks unhappy. Alright, since we killed the enemy forces, the reinforcements will not come. We managed to knock the enemies out in time. And the towers don't count once the rest of the garrison's gone. So it's victory. Now, if we had waited and let those reinforcements come in, we would get more salvage. But we didn't. It's safer this way. We don't have to repair our stuff. So we get the Nox 1L. So it says workshop charge. What I believe is that's basically a schematic. My workshop can now make a Nox 1L, maybe a leg or an arm. I'm not 100% sure what, but whatever it is, we can produce them now. Batteries, it says resources and supplies. Okay, that's fine. I don't know if that means our batteries get charged 150%. Our vehicle that moves around has a battery that you can use the energy from the battery to go faster, to stealth yourself, to whatever. There's different abilities, and then it slowly recharges over time. So maybe that's replenishing some of that. Supply is obviously a resource we need, though. All right, defenders destroyed. This defender is intact. Arrow 3H, intact arm with a improved cooling. So let's take that one. That sounds nice. Anything else really nice? Machine gun? No. So let's take a look at the rest of this stuff, and we're just going to scrap it. Intact, damaged, intact, damaged, intact, intact. This stuff is going to be all damaged because that mech is destroyed. So let's just scrap it. I've got plenty of salvage left. I could try to take some of these items, but I don't really want any of this stuff. I'm not a big fan of the machine gun. I've got shields. I just want material, so call it good there. And these had light armor. Okay. So they've been knocked down quite a bit now. They're down to 44. What I want all these resources for, if I come into the upgrades. So I only played a little bit before. The ones I had, overdrive, I believe. Yeah. So when you buy this one, you can burn battery power to go a little bit faster, kind of sprint, which is pretty handy. And I use this one. Right now I can have 3 mechs in storage. Well, the max I can take into combat is 4. So if I do this, now I can have a 4th mech, which means I can take 4 into battle, which is 1 more than before. And it's always a handy thing, right? I have 789. I could build that, but realistically, more importantly, I should build 1 more mech frame. Takes 10 hours. I've got the parts though, and now I can have 4 mechs in combat, which will make things run much better. Alright, so we've hit the hour mark. I think that's a good stopping point for now. At least you got a little flavor of it, and as the battles go on, I'll have more units. The enemy will have many more units as well, and the time predictions and different types of weapons. There's I want to say I've seen 7 or 8 different types. There's some beam weapons and weapons that can, like railguns that shoot through buildings. So there's a lot more to explore, but there's a little taste of it. We'll get back to it next time. See you then.